All right. Hello and welcome to the class. My name is Teacher Jack, and this will be a class on Dr. Seuss and reading comprehension. And hello, student. What is your name? Hello?
Hello.
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 Hello, Bashak. Is that your name?
Yes. My name is Bashak. How are you?
Bashak? Hello, I'm very good. Are you from Turkey?
Yes, I'm from Turkey.
Okay. See, I recognize the name.
Thank you.
And hello again, Igor. And hello, Shadow. All right.
Hello, teacher.
So today we're going to be reading Dr. Seuss. If you don't know him, Dr. Seuss is a famous writer of children's books, and he was very good with the English language. So today I thought it would be fun to read through the Lorax, which is a famous story of his. So I guess we can go ahead and get started. Let me pull up the page here. Let's see, there's some sound going on in the background. It should be there. Okay, here we go. Yeah, there's some background noise. I'm hoping it will go away. It's not supposed to be there. Okay, I might have to actually say something about this if this gets any worse. Okay, we're going to hope that calms down. So, here we go. Here's the start. Here's Dr. Seuss. Okay, just a moment. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. Oh my goodness. Sorry, just one. Okay, I'm back. Very, very sorry. Okay. The problem should solve itself now, or maybe it will continue every time I leave it. Okay, solved for real. Now, oh, and I see we have a. Yeah, I am in a noisy room right now. Normally, I teach in a different room. My normal room was unavailable for a whole list of complicated reasons, so I'm in a different room. And unfortunately, there's some people coming through, but it should be fine. So, the story is very exciting. They made a movie of it, you may have seen. I see we have two new students. Hello, Christian. Hello, Dave. Oh, and hello, Nader.
Hello, teacher.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you? Sorry.
Hello, teacher.
All right. Where are you Where are you coming from today, Christian?
I'm from Chile.
From Chile. Welcome. And how about you, David?
I am from Peru, Lima.
From where?
Peru.
Peru. Oh, well, welcome. And Nader?
Egypt.
Egypt. Well, all right. You've got people from all over today. Fabulous. So, for those of you just joining in, we're reading Dr. Seuss. Here is page number 1, and here is the first paragraph. So, I guess if we'll just go in the order you are in the Google chat. So, Bajak, would you like to read this first excerpt?
Okay. At the far end of town, where the prickle grass grows, and the wind smells slow and sour when it blows, and no birds ever sing excepting old crows, is the street of the lifted lorax.
Yes, very good. And I should mention, occasionally there will be some made-up words in here. Bashak did very well in correctly guessing that it's grickle grass, even though grickle isn't a real word. And of course, the lorax is also a made-up word. Bashak, uh, could you pronounce? I'll enter it in the chat. Could you say this word for me?
Which word?
Do you see the chat?
Yes, I'm seeing the chat, but my connection is a little bit slow.
Oh, well, the word is
So,
sour. S-O-U-R.
okay, sour,
Sour.
sour,
Yeah, so it kind of has it has really it's two syllables. It's sour.
sour.
Yeah, that's it.
Thank
So
you.
yeah, it's spelled like it would be sore, but it's pronounced sour.
Sour.
All right. So we'll move on. And Christian, would you like to try this one out?
Okay. And deep in the creek grass, some people say, if you look deep enough, you can still see. Today, where the Lorax once stood, just along as it could before somebody lifted the Lorax away.
Yes. Now make sure when you pronounce the word the that you're saying the and not duh.
The.
Yeah, the.
The.
So could you try reading it one more time?
Okay. And deep in the wrinkled grass, some people say, if you look deep enough, you can still see. Today, where Lorax once stood, just as long as it could before somebody lifted the Lorax away.
All right, very good.
Thanks.
All right, and moving on. Who's next? Yeah, I believe. David, are you there?
Hello?
Hello.
What was the Lorax?
Yeah. So if you want, David, feel free to start reading whenever you're ready.
Hello, I am David. What was the Lorax? And why was it there? And why was it living and taking somewhere from the earth and that of the ground where the prickly grass grow? Because once first
So yeah,
still
this is
lives here,
the old Onceler still lives here.
still lives here, lives here.
Here, yes.
Okay. Ask him. He knows. He knows.
Yeah. When you see the word slanted like that, that means that you're supposed that it's emphasized. So ask him. He knows. Is why it's written that way.
He
Um.
knows.
Yes. Could you read for me the third line?
What was the Lorax?
No, the third line down. And why was it?
And why was it it there?
So the line is, and why was it lifted and taken somewhere? Do you see it?
No.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay, so can you read that third line?
And and why was it living and taken somewhere?
Somewhere.
Somewhere.
Where. So yeah, where and there. But here is spelled differently.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
From next line.
And yeah, I want to hear the next line as well.
From the far
David?
end. Hello. From the
Yes.
far
Okay.
end of the town where the green greensly grass grow.
Yeah, and that word is a grickle. Grickle grass.
Greek Greek corn grass.
Yes. It's a made-up word, but you still pronounce it grickle, is how it's read.
Greek. Okay.
All right. Very good. Okay, so this is a long one, so we're going to chop this up into 2 bits. Hello there, Hide.
Hello, nice to see you again.
Nice to see you. Would you like to hop right in and read a line?
Yeah?
All right. Can you read what's on the screen only down to Myth Mufford Moof, if you see it down there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so you'll just be reading that chunk. And just so you know beforehand, there are some made-up words here.
Okay.
The first one, what?
From you want Steve? Uh-huh.
Yeah, and so the words to look out for is there's one slur. You can see it in the first line.
Okay.
And then the third and fourth line, that word is lurkum.
Okay.
So that's how you know. So take it away.
You won't see the once there. Don't knock at the door. He stayed in his lurking on top of his door. He lurks on his lurking, cold under the roof, where he makes his own clothes out of the muffled moof.
Yeah. Could you read just the second from the end where he makes his own clothes one more time?
Where he makes his own clothes. Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay. Say it one more time. Sorry, I didn't hear.
Okay. Where he makes his own clothes out of muffled moof.
Okay, so remember the word is clothes.
Clothes.
Yeah, and it's all voiced there at the end, so not clothes, but clothes.
Clothes.
Yeah, there you go. So you want to make sure that you keep voicing it all the way through.
Okay.
All right, very good. Now, Igor, it's your turn. Starting from and on special and all the way to the end.
And on special dank midnights in August, he peeks out of the shadows, and sometimes he speaks, and tells how the Lord was lifted away. He'll tell you, perhaps, if you're willing to pay.
Yes, very good. All right. Just a few note. Be careful on words like hill. There's no. It's not heel. It's hill. There's no little y sound in there. That palatization that was common in Russian.
He'll tell you. He'll tell you, perhaps.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, perhaps, not perhaps.
Perhaps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so watch that. Yeah, in English vowels, the only vowel that has that little y sound in front of it will ever have that is only ever a u in English. Sometimes you get like mute, but other than that, you never find that. So he'll tell you perhaps, and all the other vowels. So would you read it just one more time, just to make sure?
And on special dank midnights in August, he peeks out of the shutters, and sometimes he speaks, and tells how the Lorax was lifted away. He'll tell you, perhaps, if you're willing to pay.
All right, good. And yeah, just make sure to look out for don't palatize your vowels. Make sure they're pure. Which means don't put that little y sound in front of them. And make sure to watch on your th sounds, that they're ths and not d's or t's. But very good. All right.
Teacher, can I ask a question?
Yes.
What's the meaning of the one slur?
So the one slur, it's like I said, it's a made-up word, but it is kind of made out of working parts. So do you know the word once?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so once means one time. And in English, at the end, and sometimes you also will see lur, as in this case, just kind of makes it like a person word. So like, for instance, if you have a writer is someone who writes. And if you have someone who reads, so here we have the one slur, and we'll kind of see as the story goes on why he's the person who once, or at one time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's one. And by the way, guys, if you ever have any questions or any concerns, feel free to speak up and ask me. Because I want to know if you have any questions or anything. It's more important to me than continuing whatever I was saying. So feel free to speak up. So okay, moving right along. So Shadow, it's your turn. Shadow?
Okay, yeah, sorry. On the end
Sorry. And yeah,
okay.
Go on.
On the end of a rope, he lets down a 10 bell, and you have to toss in 15 cents and a nail and the shell of a great-great-great-grandfather's snail.
All right, very good. So I want you to read this one more time, and this time we're not going to work so much on your pronunciation of a specific word, but I want you to work a bit on your intonation. So we're going to try to read this line a bit more and by the way, I'm doing this to you because you pronounce it very well, so we're kind of moving on to intonation, which is a little more difficult. Because this is rhyming, we're going to try to make sure the emphasis falls always at the end of a line. So on the end of a rope, he sets down a tin pail, and you have to toss in 15 cents and a nail, and the shell of a great-great-grandfather's snail. So try to make sure the rhythm follows the rhyme scheme of it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So on the end of a rope, he lets down a tin pile, and you have to toss in 15 cents and a nail and the shell of a great-great-great-grandfather's snail.
All right, very good. We'll try to make sure you get a more complicated line next time.
Thank you.
Okay, so moving along again. Now things get interesting. So, Tatitulin?
Yeah, hello.
Hello there. Would you like to read the highlighted paragraph right there?
Okay, but I can see on the words in a box, but I can't see up.
You can't see what?
I can see exactly all words. It's too little for me. They're too little.
Oh, only the words in the box. Those are the only words you
Okay.
need to read.
Oh, in the box I can see. Okay.
Yeah.
Then he pulls up the pail, makes a most careful count to see if you've paid him the proper amount.
Very good. Now, with the word C-O-U-N-T, it's count.
Count.
Yeah, count. And also remember, yeah, and also remember that him, it's him, not him.
Him. Paid him.
Yes, correct. It's that short I. So try to read this one more time for me, please.
Then he pulls up the pail, makes a most careful count to see if you've paid him the proper amount.
Yes, and one last thing is that with a if, once again, that's a short I, so it's if, not if.
If
Yes.
you've paid him.
Yes, very good. All right, so we're back to Bashak, and let me move the box to the next line, make it easy. Now, this one has more some made-up words as well. So that word in the second line is snub, and then that word there at the end, I'm actually going to let you guess if S-N-U-V-V is snub, then I'll let you guess how to pronounce that word there at the very end. We'll see. So, Bajak, whenever you're ready.
Okay. Then he hides what you paid him away in his snow, his secret strange hole, in his grooveless glow.
Okay. So that word there, and I just wanted to see if you could figure it out, but it's groovulous. Yes, groovulous. So, could you say this all one more time for me?
Groovulous?
Yeah, groovulous. Could you say the whole box?
Okay. Then he hides what you paid him away in his snow, his secret strange hole, in his grooveless glow.
Yes. Now, it's secret, not secret. So secret.
Secret.
And yes. And the final word is glove, not glove.
Glove?
Yeah, glove. It has a silent E, but it's not pronounced like it had a silent E.
F for glove or glove? Which one?
It's glove.
Glove. Okay.
Okay, very good. So, we're going to move right along again. And, oops, I have to keep switching pages here. All right, a nice short one here. So, Christian, would you like to try? Yeah, Christian, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, would you like to try reading the words in the box?
Okay. I can see all the box.
Yes, I see. Give me. All right, how's that?
Okay. Then the grant I will can you by whisper my phone. For the secrets I tell are for your ears alone.
Yeah, and the word was call. I will call you.
I will call you.
Yes. And oops. And can you read it for me one more time? There's just something I'm listening for, and I want to make sure I hear it.
Okay. Then he grants. I call by whisper my phone. For the secrets I tell are for your ears alone.
Yeah, and make sure that in the word your, that you really get that R at the end. It's your.
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 Can you just go for me?
Your.
Your, yeah.
Okay.
All right. So say just for the secrets I tell are for your ears alone. Can you just say that?
For the secret I tell are for your ears alone.
All right. Yeah, good. Okay. So here we're going to get to see what the Onceler's story is. Okay. So Hide,
Yes?
if you could read just until that first break, up until nose,
Mhm.
and that first word is slup. Slup is how you say it.
Slap. Don't slap
Yes.
the whisper my phone to your ear, and to all the ones words whispers are not very clear, since they have to come down through a snodgy host, and he sounds as if he had a smallish beads up his nose.
Yeah, good. Sorry, that's another made-up word. I believe a snurgly hose.
Snodgy, not snoggery host.
Yeah. And like I said, there's no technical correct pronunciation, but it's snurgly because if you can see in the picture, the hose is all wrinkly and weird. So here is Dr. Seuss being creative with his word choice and making up a word to describe that hose.
Mhm.
Really quick, could you read that second line and the old Onceler's whispers? Could you read that line for me?
And all the ones that but they are not very clear, since they have to come down through a snuggery hose.
Yes. All right. Very good. Yeah. I was gonna when you first said it, you pronounced "not" a little differently, but on the second time you pronounced "not" correctly. So, very good.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So we'll go on to Igor, and Igor, could you read what's left?
Where do I need to start from?
Now I'll tell you.
Okay. Now I'll tell you, he says, with his teeth sounding gray, how the lords got lifted and taken away. It all started way back, such a long, long time back.
Yeah. So one thing is that it's lifted with the short I. Lifted, not lifted.
I know, lifted.
It's okay. You'll get these short vowels. And also remember, with on one back you did it correctly, but on the first back it was still kind of like biek. So make sure that's back.
Back.
Yeah. All right. So we'll move on for Shadow to this part. So Shadow, I'm gonna have you read all of this.
Oh, okay.
And just let me see. Oh yeah. So just so you know in advance, in several lines down, you see it's the Swami swans is how that's pronounced. Swami.
Swami swans. Okay.
And the trees are truffula trees. Truffula.
Truffula trees.
All
Okay.
right. And with that, you're ready.
Okay. Way back in the days when the grass was still green and the pond was still wet and the clouds were still clean and the song of the swarm swans rang out in space. One morning I came to this glorious place, and I first saw the trees, the truffula trees, the bright-colored tufts of the truffula trees, mile after mile in the fresh morning breeze.
Very good. Now remember that's it's fresh morning. Fresh.
Okay, fresh
Okay.
morning.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to have you read this one more time, and I want you to try to go a little faster if you can. Try to read this as fast as you think you can do it, okay?
Okay, teacher, it's the
Yes.
swami swans.
Yes, swami swans and truffula trees.
Truffle trees. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, way back in the days when the grass was still green and the pond was still wet and the clouds were still clean and the song of the swans rang out in space, one morning I came to this glorious place and I first saw the trees, the truffula trees, the bright-colored tufts of the truffula trees, mile after mile in the fresh morning breeze.
All right, very good. Yeah, your reading comprehension is very good, Shadow.
Oh, thank you.
I think what you need most to improve at this point is just straight up practice, which luckily is exactly what we're doing. Okay, so going on, more colorful antics in this land. And whose turn is it? Tatitulin.
Yeah. And under the trees I saw brown babaloots frisking about in their babaloot suits as they played in the shade and ate truffle fruits.
All right, very good, very good. Correctly guessing how to pronounce barbaloot. Now some bits. That word is eight, not et.
Eight.
Eight. Yes.
Eight.
And it's there, as in their Barbara suits.
Their Barbara suits.
Yes. So could you try reading it for me one more time?
And under the trees I saw brown babaloots frisking about their babaloot suits as they played in the shade and ate truffle fruits.
And just one more thing is it's played and shade. They end in that D sound, not a T. So you could say those words played and shade for me?
Played, shade.
Yeah, all right. So could you read this for me one last time?
And under the trees I saw brown babaloots frisking about in their babaloot suits as they played in the shade and ate truffle fruits.
All right, very good. Okay, next line. And this one, we're back to Bajak. And the one confusing word in here will be ripulus, from the ripulus pond. And this word actually has some meaning. So in water, when you see tiny waves, it's called a ripple, R-I-P-P-L-E, a ripple. So this is ripulus, which is a made-up word, but you can see how it has that implication of ripples. So it's only a half made-up word. So whenever you're ready, take it away.
From the rippleless pond came the comfortable sound of the humming fish humming while splashing around.
Well, splashing, what?
Splashing around.
Okay. So, this is one for the word comfortable. So it's spelled comfortable, but the way this is actually said in English is comfortable.
Comfortable.
Yeah, that's correct. So, comfortable. And, yeah, could you say this for me one last time, or one more time?
From the rippleless. Actually, I forgot how to pronounce it. Rippleless?
Yeah, ripulus.
Rippleless pond came the comfortable sound of the humming fish humming while splashing around.
All right, very good. All right. Continuing forth. It is, I believe, David's turn. David, are you?
Hello.
Hello, David.
Okay. Hello. Okay.
Yeah, whenever you're ready, try out this line.
But but those trees, those those truthful trees. All my life, I've been I've been searching for trees such as this. The touch of their tufts was much softer than silk, and they had the sweet smell of fresh butterfly milk.
Okay, so first thing is that CH sound. In English, that's a ch, not a sh. So ch
Sh-
with a hard beginning. You can almost think of ch as being t plus sh. If you put them together, it becomes ch. So can I hear you say searching?
Okay.
Yes, searching.
Searching.
To really make sure, almost pronounce it with a T. Searching.
Searching.
Yeah, that was good. So put it all together in one go. Searching.
Searching.
All right. And
Searching.
yeah, that was it. That one. Also, it is trees. Tree.
Trees. Tree.
So not tris, but trees. And also in English, sometimes T and R together will make a bit of a ch sound. So you could even say trees.
Trees.
Yes, trees. And so it's trees and searching. And once again, that word down there is touch, not tush, touch. And yeah, touch. And that other word you struggled with, it's not slick, it's silk.
Repeat
Silk.
me. Silk.
Yeah, that's it. Silk. And this is silk is it's like a very soft fabric. It comes from Asia, made of silkworm. But that's silk. So could you try, and keeping in mind that it's trees, searching, touch, and silk, and also that it's tufts. Is that other word? So keeping that in mind, and feel free to go at your own pace. Can you try saying this line one more time?
Okay. But these trees, those true fir trees, all my life I've been searching for trees such as this. The touch of their tooth was much softer than silk,
Silk.
no, silk, softer than silk, and they had the sweet smell, small. This correct?
Yes, smell.
Smell, smell of fresh butterfly milk.
All right, definitely better. Yeah, make sure that with the words like with all those R's in there, like there and trees, make sure that it's that English, that kind of dog-like sound, and not the not trees, not there, but trees and there.
Trees.
Yeah.
Trees.
Okay. So, and then we'll move on now. And this one is so short. I'm going to give so this line I'll just say because it's very short. I felt a great leaping of joy in my heart. I knew just what I'd do. I unloaded my cart. So then we have this line, which is a little nicer for our purposes. And Hide, it's your turn. Could you try reading this?
Okay, okay. In no time at all, I have built a small shop. Then I chopped down a truffle tree with one chop, and with great skill and with great speed. I took the soft stuff and I knitted that
Oh, yeah. No, actually correct. Yeah, Thneed is what he's knitting. A very odd thing. So remember, make sure you pronounce those syllables when they come at the end of a word. You're normally good at this, but there were a few times when you're going fast, like you said, I have built, but it's I had built.
I had. Okay.
Yeah, so just be mindful of that. And otherwise, very good. Could you read it for me just one more time?
What does can I pronounce truffle? Truffle.
Oh yeah. So it's truffula is how we do that. Truffula. And the way I can kind of figure that out, and this will be a little guide on English intonation, is so I know that truff, T-R-U-F, is the root word, and I imagine that's pronounced truff just because that's kind of the most obvious way to say it. Truff. It looks like tough or stuff. So truff. Then in English, the first syllable tends to get the emphasis. So that second syllable is definitely unstressed. And the final one gets secondary stress because sometimes in English words, especially ones that end in vowels like this, a secondary stress goes on the very end of the word. So it gets spelled like truffala, but I say it truffala.
Truffle.
Yeah. All right. So one more time with this line.
In no time at all, I had built a small shop. Then I chopped down a truffle tree with one chop, and with great skillful skill and with great speed. I took the soft tuft and I knitted a knit.
Yeah, Thneed. It's hard to say. All right. Yeah. So.
Could I ask a question?
Yeah, absolutely, always.
Could you go back there? Yeah. Here, the first line. If you say it in an American accent and try to be quick, as you always are, so it would sound like, in no time at all, I built a small shop.
Yes. Yeah, sometimes when you go fast, some variations on this would happen in more if you're speaking faster, as you say, in no time at all, and at all would kind of fuse together, and that T would do what T's do between vowels, and it would become that D sound, that kind of D-like sound. So in no time at all, and you'd normally probably still say I had instead of I'd, but you might even slur that H a little bit. So in no time at all, I had built a small shop. So yeah, in faster English, you're right. The at all would have fused together a bit, and the H and had might have dropped off.
What about this word when you built, when you cannot build and a? So it
would have been, well, built. One, it's a built, not built. And the A would then be builta.
Builder.
It would not be builda. It would be builta.
Builta.
The T would not fuse with the A as in at all. And there's some reasons for this that are kind of a little complicated. So I'm not going to go into too much detail, but basically those little grammar words like and the tend to actually maintain their separation from these other sounds, whereas at all fuses together because at all is itself one chunk. Like it's not the same as at and all. At all is a phrase in English, and because it's a set phrase, it can fuse together. But the is completely separate from built. It's connected to small. So those don't fuse, so you don't get that T becoming a D. So I had built a small shop. It would still be a T.
Okay.
Does that make any sense? Why the at all becomes at all, but it doesn't become builda?
I think there is some sense to that.
Yeah. So like I said, I'll just iterate one more time and then move on. Is that the reason is because at all is kind of like a compound word. Even though it's written as two words, it's kind of acting like a compound. So the sound change that applies to it as though it was one word, whereas built are still always separate words. So that does not apply to them. All right. So, Igor, it is now your turn.
What the word? Gazamp?
Yeah, gazump.
Gazamp.
Yeah. It's just imitating the sound that it makes.
Okay. The instant I'd finished, I heard a gazump. I looked. I saw something pop out of the stump of the tree I chopped down. It was sort of a man. Describe him. That's hard. I don't know if I can.
Okay. So the first thing here, and it's on the pronunciation of looked. Can you imagine what it was I was thinking of?
Look.
Yeah, looked. Oh, you said it correctly right there. Yeah, so it's looked, not looked.
Yes.
So it's these short vowels you always struggle with, but you pronounced it correctly when I asked you about it the second time. So
the funny thing about that, I know how to pronounce them, but I can't fuse them together. When I go fast, I tend to drop them. I don't know why.
Yeah, well, that's why we practice. That's why we do these readings, to practice making sure you say them when you go fast. So yeah, when we say this a bit, remember it's looked. And now one thing, when you say it was sort of a man, it's not sort of a man, it's sort of a. These words will kind of flow together. So it was sort of a man.
Sort of a man.
Yeah. That there was a few others. Frequently you say I don't know. You say I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I can. Okay. So with that in mind, say it again, and remember to watch those short vowels.
So
take it away.
Say it all over again.
Yeah. Oh yeah, same thing. Say it again, and just this time, just remember those looked, the short U, and try to go with a sort of a, and I don't know.
Okay.
Is what you're gonna try for.
The instant I'd finished, I heard a gazump. I looked. I saw something pop out of that stump of the tree I chopped down. It was sort of a man. Describe him. That's hard. I don't know if I can.
All right, very good. And just a thing to think about is always remember to listen out for those little Y sounds, and make sure to don't put them in, because you go into them sometimes.
Well,
just
I know why you hear these little Y sounds, but there are no Y sounds there. I just soften my consonants. This happens in my native English.
Yeah, I know that Russian has the soft consonants, and they make those sounds that to us sound like a little Y noise. And yeah, the key is just all English consonants basically are hard, is the way to think of it.
Well, the problem is that they sound like they're in between hard and soft for Russians. So
really? Interesting. But yeah, so I guess probably if you want to err, try to make them harder more often. Because they definitely rarely have that little Y sound that'll always come with a soft consonant. But all right, so moving on. This one's a little short for Shadow, so I'll read this one. He was shortish and oldish and brownish and mossy, and he spoke with a voice that was sharpish and bossy. Does everyone understand the meaning of all these words? Okay, so just to make sure you know that ish means that it's like it. So he's shortish, meaning he's kind of like short, and he's oldish, meaning he looks kind of old. So that's what those words are.
So it's just like an adjective?
Yeah, so if you take adjectives, but then you make it, or even nouns, and you make it ish, that means it's kind of like, but not exactly. So when you say that he seems oldish, that means he seems like old, but not exactly old. And when you say brownish, you can actually, this is a more obvious one. When he says brownish, you can see his color there. It's not exactly brown, but it's kind of like brown. So it's brownish. So that's what those ishes mean.
It's like a childish
Yeah,
when you
child.
use it.
Yeah, it's like when you say childish, it means you're acting like a child. You're not necessarily a child, but you're acting like one. Okay, so Shadow,
Mhm.
here
Sorry,
is your.
if
Oh,
I may, a quick question.
yes.
Can I invent a word like you look troubled dish?
What did you say?
You look troubled dish.
You can say that. Like you look troubled-ish. It would be an odd thing to say, um, but you could definitely say you seem troubled or troubled-ish, which would be an odd thing to say. What you'd be saying if you said that is you would be saying that I'm not sure if you're troubled, but I think you might be. It'd be an odd thing to say, but no, people would understand you if you said troubled-ish. Okay, so
Thank you.
Shadow, here is your line.
Okay.
Wanna try it out? And remember, for you, I want you to try to push your limits. So try to go as fast as you can, and still pronouncing correctly. So if you go fast and you find you can't pronounce the words anymore, slow down. But as fast as you can safely go.
Okay. Mister, he said with a southty sneeze, I'm the lyrics, I speak for the trees. I speak for the trees have no tongues. And I'm asking you, sir, at the top of my lungs. He was very upset as he shouted and puffed. What's that thing you are made out of my traveler tuft?
Okay, so it's a thing you've made, not thing you were made.
Oh, you've made, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, that might have been hard to read. And just a few pointers. So the word is so when with tongues and puffed, it's that vowel, tongue, puff, just like in lungs.
Puffed?
Yeah,
It's
puffed, and in tongue, it's the same vowel.
mm-hmm.
Even though tongues is written with an O, it's the same sound as in lung and puff.
Okay.
And one final thing is for the word puffed. Remember we talked about with your P's, T's, and K's about puffing them with air when you say them at the start of a word.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to try to do that because when you said puffed, it sounded very soft, almost like a B, which is what it will sound like to English speakers when you don't aspirate. They'll make them think you said a B.
Okay.
So make sure you puffed. You can try kind of
Puffed.
breathing when you do it. Yeah. So if you could say the line one more time.
He was this line? He was?
Say the whole thing.
Okay. Mister, he said with a southwest sneeze, I'm the lyrics, I speak for the trees. I speak for the trees have no tongues. And I'm asking you, sir, at the top of my lungs. He was very upset as he shouted and puffed. What's that thing you've made out of my traveler tuft?
All right. Yes, very good.
Thank you.
Okay. So moving on. Oh, where does the time go? All right. So Bajak.
Yes.
So this is a bit of a long one. I'd try reading that. Let's see. Let's try to chop this up for you. Um, just read the first 4 lines.
Okay. Look, Lorax, I said, there is no cause for alarm. I chopped just one tree. I'm doing no harm. I'm being quite useful.
It's a shirt.
This thing,
It's a shirt. It's a sock. It's a glove. It's a hat. But it has other uses. Yes, far beyond that, you can use it for.
What is that, Hide?
I don't
Huh?
know.
Were you saying something to
Oh,
us,
I'm sorry.
Hide?
I'm sorry. I forgot muting.
Oh, all right. That's all right. I was confused.
Me too. Okay,
Okay, so
I'm doing no
continue on, Bashak.
I'm doing no harm. I'm being quite useful. This thing is a thinid.
Thneed, yes.
A thinid is a fine something that all people need.
All right. Yeah, very good. So go ahead and read the rest of it as well.
Okay, it's a shirt. It's a
Shirt.
shirt.
So
It's a hat.
shirt. It goes right into that R. Shirt.
It's a shirt.
Hmm.
It's a sock. It's a glove.
Glove.
It's glove. It's a hot
Glove.
glove. It's a hot hat.
Hat.
It's a hat, but it has other uses. Yes, far beyond that. You can use it for carpets, for pillows, for sheets, or curtains, or covers for bicycle seats.
Very good. And go ahead and read the Lorax's reply as well.
Lorex said, "Sir, you're crazy with great. There is no one on earth who would buy that fool sneeze."
Very good. And remember it's greed with that long E.
Greed. Okay.
Okay, I'm going to see if we can't manage to get at least a little bit for everyone in the last few minutes. So, Hide, are you ready?
Okay.
All right, try out this paragraph.
But the very next minute I proved he was wrong, for just at that minute a chap came along, and the thought that the thread I had knitted was great. He happily bought it for 3.98. I laughed at the Lorax. You poor, stupid guy. You never can tell what some people will buy.
All right, good. Yeah, I think Hide, you like Shadow. I think what's best for you is probably just straight up practice. So, could you try reading it one more time and try to go a little faster this time?
Okay, but the very next minute I proved he was wrong. He was wrong, for just at the minute a chap came along, and he thought that the thread I had knitted was great. He happily bought it for 3.98. I laughed at the Lorax. You poor stupid guy. You never can tell what some people will buy.
All right, yes, very good. Just one quick counter is that for words like wrong and along, it's
Wrong,
wrong and along, not wrong or along. So wrong and along.
wrong, and along.
Yeah, all right. So, I think we have enough time. Igor, I repeat, cried the Lorax, I speak for the trees. All right, and Igor, now this nice chunk is for you.
Okay, I'm busy, I told him. Shut up, if you please. I rushed across the room, and in no time at all, built a radio phone. I put in a quick call. I called all my brothers, and uncles and aunts, and I said, listen here, here's a wonderful chance for the whole Wansler family to get mighty rich. Get over here fast. Take the road to the north niche. Turn left at Weehawken. Stop right at South Stitch. Oh my god.
All right. The interesting thing to me about that was that you pronounced rich, reach, and he pronounced stitch, stitch, and niche was a little in between those two. So it's like as you went on, you noticed you were lengthening your eyes and softened them.
Yes.
Well, all right. So we're out of time, but Shadow, I really want to give you one last line to make sure it's fair. So would you mind reading this last part for me?
Okay. And in no time at all, in the factory I built, the whole Onsler family was working full tilt. We were all knitting needs, just as busy as bees, to the sound of the chopping of truffle trees.
All right. Very good. So class is pretty much over. Does anyone have any final requests or questions?
Why is it so hard?
Why is it so hard? That's a good question. I hope that with practice it will become less hard. One of the reasons I like these Dr. Seuss books is Dr. Seuss really took advantage of English and the way words flowed, and when he made up new words, all these new words he made up were meaningful to English speakers, even though they meant nothing. So pay attention to some of his made-up words because he used English sounds really well. So like the truffle trees, when you hear it, you just get this image of these puffy trees for some reason. And early the snurgly tube. Snurgly, it doesn't mean anything, but to English speakers, snurgly could only mean one thing, and that's wrinkly and broken and weird. So I hope that reading these will help you guys. Any other things?
Thank you, teacher.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
I will see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Bye. Bye-bye.